The sea raged, waves crashed against the small ship, the wind howled, tearing at the sails, rain blurred the line between sky and sea. Aboard the ship, fear reigned. This tempest mirrored a man's internal turmoil, a storm in the heart of Jonah. Jonah, chosen by God to preach to Nineveh, was in conflict. He fled, boarding a ship to Tarshish, seeking to outrun his duty and God. But Jonah would soon learn there is no escaping the divine will. The storm within him was about to merge with the storm without. The call came in a whisper, "Go to Nineveh and proclaim my message." Nineveh, a city of wickedness, struck fear into Jonah. He knew God's power and mercy but feared the city's wrath. Jonah chose flight over faith. He boarded a ship to Tarshish, convincing himself he was escaping God's command. In truth, he was running from himself. Little did he know, a greater tempest awaited, challenging his faith. He would soon confront the consequences of his disobedience. The ship sailed from Joppa with Jonah aboard. He felt relief, thinking he had defied the divine command. The journey began calmly, but Jonah found no solace. His guilt was a constant reminder of his transgression. The wind picked up, the sea churned, and the sky darkened. The ship was caught in a fearsome storm. The sailors, baffled, faced a tempest unlike any other. They were sailing on a sea of divine wrath, carrying the one who had invoked God's anger. The storm raged unabated. The ship groaned under the onslaught. Terror gripped the crew as they worked to save the vessel. This was no ordinary tempest. It was the wrath of God. Jonah, deep in the hold, knew the storm was his doing. The captain found Jonah and demanded he call upon his God. The crew, desperate, gathered around Jonah. Jonah realized it was time to face his sin and offer himself as a sacrifice. He confessed his transgression, ready to appease the raging storm. Jonah confessed his sin to the crew. He told them of his mission, fear, and flight. With remorse and peace, he offered himself as a sacrifice. "Take me up and cast me into the sea," he said. The sailors, reluctant but out of options, lifted him and hurled him into the waters. The moment Jonah hit the water, the storm ceased. The sea became still as glass. In the belly of the great fish, Jonah faced his despair. He had confronted his sin and accepted the consequences. His journey was far from over, leading him back to Nineveh and his destiny.